Welcome back. Let's talk to Matt Brown. Very good morning to you, young Matt.
Good morning.
Right, let's look at the headlines this morning. US tax reforms still on the agenda. Traders focus on UK retail sales. Tell me more.
Tax reforms again, you know, as you said yesterday, Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But here we are again talking about tax reforms. Are they going to get through? Are they not? Are they going to be watered down, etc.? But it's just putting everything still in this holding pattern. We've seen US equities give up a little bit on the back of it, and focus will be on that. I mean, expected to pass through Congress and obviously the Senate committees, everything going on next week. So, look, here we are, we're looking at the market, people getting a little bit nervous, and a thing to look out for. Did a great piece. We had Bill Blaine from Mint Partners on the show yesterday talking about high yield, or junk as we used to know it, bonds, looking at Venezuela and seeing there's some fractures coming through in the market, and that's can be a precursor, not necessarily to a crash, but maybe a correction. We're just seeing a little bit of...
Or a healthy pullback.
Exactly, a healthy pullback, time to, you know, potentially load up and add to your portfolio, who knows. But just be aware that that is going on at the moment. And I think with this US tax reform situation, it's allowing people now time to look at other things. You know, the market isn't getting ahead of itself. People are now taking stock and reviewing their portfolios. Traders focusing on the UK retail sales numbers out of the UK, actually better than expected, down 0.3% year on year, expected actually to be a little bit worse than that. But again, it's the key run up to Christmas. We'll see, you know, with Cyber Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays, Mondays, Black, whatever days, how the retailers perform.
Understood. Let's move on to Footsie and one to watch. Royal Mail, they reported today. Any good headlines there?
One takeaway from them, they've upped their dividend by 4%, so the stock's up a couple of percent, but it was expected actually for them to underperform. Profits are down. Their logistics division is performing well, but again, Royal Mail have highlighted the Christmas period as being key for their full year profits, and it's going to be an interesting one this year. How many cards are going to be sent out, how many parcels? You can order something on Amazon, get it delivered, wrapped and sent directly to whoever for little cost. So it'll be interesting to see how many Christmas cards are going to be written this year.
Understood. Right, let's move swiftly on to AIM, one to watch, Metal Tiger. I think we've interviewed them historically.
Yes, indeed. I picked this one out. There's a bit of news flow on this. Now, Metal Tiger are involved in the resources space, but they look for undervalued assets in other companies. So themselves as a business, they're not looking for oil or gas or gold or any kind of precious metals themselves. They're looking for undervalued companies, and one of the undervalued companies they've looked at is Kingsgate. It's an Australian listed company. It's down 90% in value over 5 years. Metal Tiger have bought a stake of about 6.7%, and they're getting in and being activists and saying, look, we want to clear out the board, get rid of the board members, put our own guys in, and that's how we see adding value to shareholders. So it's an interesting company in that space that they've got an overview of other companies, and if you're looking for undervalued investments in miners or resources,
take a look at Metal Tiger.
Indeed.
Right, currencies. The Great British Pound, 131.57. The Euro Great British Pound cross 89.49.
Yeah, the pound's actually had a bit of an uplift. It's trading a little bit higher now than 31.57. I think around 31.70, 80 level. A bit of a bump on the back of the retail sales numbers, but again, it's not big moves that we're seeing in the pound on back of macro data.
Understood. Let's move on swiftly to the broker upgrades, downgrades. Centrica, a new buy recommendation as opposed to a reduce, and that's with Chevron.
Yes, Chevron, it's a double upgrade. They had them as reduce, obviously looking at price caps. Centrica own British Gas in the UK, Scottish and Southern Energy potentially pulling out of that market, reducing the number of players in it. On the back of this, Chevron Kepler have upped it to a buy going forward, and the stock's up about 2-3% on the back of it.
Very good. Core number time, 450 million.
Yeah, well, this is the price paid, $450 million for a piece of work by Leonardo da Vinci, 500 years old. It was bought in 1958 in a London auction, believed not to be Leonardo da Vinci at that point, has since been proved to be, for £45. So it's a £45, obviously back in 1958, that's a lot of money back then, but not a huge amount. But if you're making a return of $450 million, this is the highest price ever paid for a piece of art at auction. Now, it's worth noting Greggs have got themselves into a bit of hot water this week for depicting the nativity scene with replacing Jesus with a sausage roll. Right. Now, Greggs sausage rolls, according to my research, are 90p, so that could have bought you about, I think it's about 370 million sausage rolls for the price of one piece of art. What would you rather trade? But none in the studio, none in the studio.
Right, absolutely. Right, let's wrap up today with the economic calendar. We've got the CPIs in the Eurozone, US Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey, and the Bank of England. Mr. Carney speaking. What's he talking about today?
It's a conference in Liverpool. They've actually got all the members of the Bank of England are speaking today. I think it's about 2 o'clock this afternoon in Liverpool. So there may be a bit of news flow there. Looking out for EU CPI data, that's a big one. Look at the euros trading around the 118 level. Yeah. Dollar, we have seen some weakness on the back of this tax reform side of things, so look out for that. And I just feel at the moment in the market, there's a bit of a holding pattern. It feels as if the buyers aren't coming in. I wouldn't go as far as say it's risk off, but it's a kind of take stock before the market decides its next move.
Matt, top man, thank you very much indeed.